Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, those of you that are here already, and welcome to number 37 this week. Let's Talk FPL. Numbers kind of getting mixed up while I do other stuff live, but yeah, number 37. As people have pointed out in the chat, we have a couple of new tunes. I basically found a playlist. The guys that I'd already been using, I found they actually had a playlist with more than 12 songs on. It's got like 290, so I have no idea what they're like. But one of the polls tonight is to discuss whether Candyland is still the best song they have. Now, before you vote, I'm going to play the other song. Let me just pop out the chat a sec. So, Candyland, well-known, well-loved song. But I think this one's better. I'm going to turn it up a little bit, so you can still hear me, hopefully. It's this one. Let's play it for a little bit. We're gonna, play the Candyland rival, exactly. I know it's going to be tough to beat Candyland. I just think this one's better. It's more upbeat. Who's in already? FPL Playboy, how's it going? Phil, good man, always here. Keen too. Exactly. Screw FPL. Let's talk music for a second. It does take a while to kick in, that's the only problem. How's it going, James? Really, we're not listening to music. I'm waiting for everyone to get into the chat before we start. I'll write in chat what it's called. What's this weird music? I mean, this is kind of it now for the whole way through. I know, I prefer it to Candyland. You can vote in the polls. Got 4 polls tonight. One of them is Candyland related. Anyway, I'll turn this down now. And maybe we'll talk some FPL. New stream, let's talk top 20. Sounds good. I've been thinking of some new ideas to do, actually. I have an idea for a weekly stream, which would be shorter. It'll basically be a video, but I'll record it live. I don't want to give away too many details, but I've already lined up. Basically, it'll be me and a guest each week. Preferably a different guest every week. For something. First one will be next week, hopefully. I've already lined up the first person to come on. I just got to work out the format, the rules, maybe try and design something a bit more fancy than this. That seems unlikely, but we'll look out for that next week. I'll post things up on Twitter and whatnot to let you know when that's coming. I was just thinking, actually, got to try and fit in all this crap around like drafts. So everyone wants to do their draft soon, and they want to do them in the evening. I'm running out of time, to be honest. But yeah, we had like a weekly thing, one per game week essentially. So it'd be tough around short game weeks, but we'll see if we can fit it in. Should be good. Plus it means you can get on, like, I know people have wanted other guests on, so it means we can get some of the other FPL community guys to come on. I don't know if you're following the Who Got the Assist guys, they'll be first up hopefully. Yeah, so my team's a bit annoying. I can make it smaller so that the whole team fits on. Like that. It becomes very blurry then. I know what I should do, actually. I'm not going to do it now, but next stream I'll just cut out the team itself. Just screen capture that bit. And I'll probably be able to fit it on the screen a bit better then. But I'll leave it like that for now if that's better. Big Ricey, how's it going? You haven't received the email invitation yet, I know. Later on in the season you're down for. Which season, I don't know yet, but one of the seasons. Let's Talk FPL is too big. Yeah, I know. That's not big on purpose. That's big because of the way I had to do the FPL bit. The actual screen of my team. I need to mess about a bit, to be honest. I just need to get some time to mess about, but I'm not the greatest with Photoshop and stuff, so bear with me. Yeah, I know I can snip it down right now, but then it probably won't fit with the other stuff I've got on the screen, so there'll just be a lot of blank space. So I'm just going to leave it like that for this one. We'll sort it out next time. Which department's giving me problems? For you, it's midfield. I don't know if anywhere is, really. I don't know, I'm kind of happy with my team. Basically, Chadley is currently in there because Phillips has got an injury. That's basically why I put Chadley in. I need a 6 million midfielder. Now, I've looked at Fraser for 5.5. He's an option. I could use 5.5 elsewhere. If Phillips is fit for game week 1, he'll be back in the team, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, David De Gea is interesting because I think on the last stream I specifically told someone I'll never ever go for an expensive keeper, and no one ever does. And then I read a really good article about why it might be a good idea to start with him, and it got me thinking. So that's basically why I have De Gea in right now. I don't know if I'm going to keep him. I wonder if Heaton is actually still really good value at 5 million. Basically, this article said that rotating keepers, you shouldn't really do it. Heaton scored X amount of points last year, which was really good. But only 3 more of them were at home than away or something like that. Whereas everyone likes to rotate keepers to get the home games, and actually it probably doesn't matter too much. So if Heaton can perform the same heroics as last year, 5 million is a steal, to be honest. You just pair him with Elliott and play him every week. But I don't know. The article I got is off a guy. His Twitter handle is Inferno6, spelled S-A-X, not the number 6. I think his article's right at the top. He's on Twitter. I can link it in the chat. Probably. There you go. Why not Gain instead of Rodriguez? Nah, I kind of like West Brom's fixtures. I mean, preferably I don't have 2 West Brom attackers. I'd probably change one of them. I like West Brom's fixtures. I mean, J-Rod's done the business before, although it was a couple of years ago. I don't know if I want to trust Newcastle from the off, to be honest. Am I considering going without Kane? Not really, to be honest. I mean, I pretty much start the season every year with 2 big hitters. So Lukaku's a must. He's going nowhere. He's the only player in that team that's never left my squad. So Lukaku's a definite. So then it's... Who is it? It's Kane, Lacazette, Morata, Aguero, or Jesus. Don't think I've missed anyone. So, obviously they're all cheaper, so that is a benefit. But Aguero, I'm not convinced is going to start every game at the start. I don't know, there just seems to be too many doubts over him. Rightly or wrongly, you just don't want to doubt like that in your team. There's Jesus. 10.5 million is potentially a really good price, but I'm thinking of just opting for De Bruyne to, and I hate to say this, but to cover Man City. I'm not usually a fan of coverage, but De Bruyne was quite under the radar last year. Does have the potential to explode, so I'm just hoping I get him at the right time, which is at the start of the season. And he absolutely goes on one. So that's why I'm kind of not going for Jesus. So that leaves Morata, who apparently is not fit right now. I think that's what Conte said. And he keeps lining them up on the left. Now, I don't expect that to continue full time, but I just don't want to bring him straight on my team. And Lacazette, I think, will do really well. If it's him versus Kane, I know there's 2 million difference to worry about, but I just think I'd go Kane every time. And I know there's things about him not scoring in August, and then playing on Wembley, at Wembley. But I think I'd rather start with him and get it wrong than not start with him and get it wrong, if that makes sense. He's an easy downgrade to anyone. So it's a bit of, I suppose, price structure thinking there. What about Salah? I like Salah, but I just can't fit him in my team. I mean, there are a few changes I could make if I wanted to bring a Liverpool midfielder in. I could do De Bruyne to Salah. That frees up 1 million. I could easily find 0.5 from some. In fact, I've already got 0.5 million left on my team, so I could just do Pogba to Eriksen. So Pogba and De Bruyne versus Eriksen and Salah. Maybe the latter wins. It's a tough one. How's it going, Barry? Getting rid of Kane will never be easy. Well, if he's not... I mean, I got rid of Aguero last year before most other people when he wasn't doing the business, so... It depends. Like, I mean, hopefully he's doing well, so I don't need to get rid of him. If he's not, then you have to at least consider it. Yeah, having a midfielder and an attacker from West Brom does worry me. I've actually got, with this team, you can't see it, but I have 0.5 million in the bank. So that's Rodriguez to Austin. If Austin's the starter, he's 100% nailed in my team. Kane isn't 16, 17 Aguero. Well, you don't know that. You don't know. No one expected Aguero to be like that last year. I'm not saying he will be. I'm just saying if he is, then I'll think about getting rid of him. If he's not perfect, he's in my team. Nothing to worry about. I mean, I prefer to keep Rodriguez instead of Chaddy, but I prefer Austin to Redmond, for example. You disagree with him being an easy downgrade? Yeah, I'm not saying necessarily in the first couple of weeks. But otherwise I don't go with him. Who do I go with instead? Well, that's the question. Yeah, of course I would keep him for Burnley. Absolutely, no doubt about it. There's so little chance of me starting without Kane, I think. Surprised not to see Alonso. I know I mean, I can pretty much fit in Alonso easy enough. Downgrade De Gea to 4.5. I got 0.5 in the bank, so I just upgrade Bertrand or Trippier, but I don't know if I want to put all that money in. I mean, a lot of people are telling me there's a lot of discussion right now about, you know, the 7 million defenders or 6.5 million defenders are going to match the 6.5 million mids, and perhaps they will. But you've got to think of the other player you have to have. So the cheaper defender is likely to outscore the cheaper midfielder, if that makes sense. Like the 4.5s we're talking about now. Jesus can match him in the first couple of weeks, you believe? Yeah, you could do. Plenty of choice. Daniels is no longer on penalties. No, people keep saying that, but he wasn't on penalties last year, was he? I don't think. Does no Arsenal worry me? Not really. I mean, who do I want from? I mean, I'd like the wing back, Kalanisic, is it? Something like that. I mean, it's really Lacazette. Already said why I'm not getting him. Sanchez or Ozil. Sanchez is so expensive. If I have Kane, I can't afford Sanchez, and he might go. Ozil 9.5. I want to wait and see on him. I know Daniels did take penalties because I had him the season before when he was taking penalties, but did he actually take any last year in the Premier League? Yeah, Ramsey. I mean, yeah, I don't know about Ramsey. I need to have another look at him. If I can afford him, like instead of Chadley, then maybe I will. But I don't know if I can. He was on my team for a while. Anyone that's been watching the streams since the start of the season, you'll know he was in my team. There was a lot of uproar about it. Lots of moaning from you lot. Peer pressure that was. Ooh, 1,498 subscribers. If you're new around here, hit subscribe. We'll hit 1,500 tonight, hopefully. You might as well hit that like button while you're there as well. How's it going, Felix? Love the Bertrand pick. Yeah, I think a few people have got me on Bertrand. One of them was Was it Mr. Chief on Twitter, FPL Hints? He was chatting about Bertrand a lot at the start of the season. Or like, the start of the FPL season. I know everyone hates the double West Brom attack. I'll tell you what, just so it doesn't seem so bad to you, let me spend that 0.5 million I've got. See you later, J-Rod. Who am I getting? This is what hang on. Oh no! Oh, I spent it on De Gea. Oh, nightmare. We've had a nightmare, lads. Maybe I get rid of him completely. How about that? I'll say this about Charlie Austin. If he's nailed, and to be honest, I don't know if we're gonna know that before the season kicks off. He is probably as nailed in my team as Lukaku is. 6.5 million is a bargain. He will score goals. If Blint is an option, is nailed, is he an option? Yes, but he's not nailed. And if you've got Lindelof in your team, I'd probably get rid of him. Yeah, exactly. Like Fozzie says, Jones might be starting the season. To be honest, I might still get one or two West Brom attackers, but if I get rid of them now, I don't have to talk about them to the whole stream. Abraham, yeah, Tammy. Not great fixtures though. I think Jones is suspended in Europe, not the Premier League. The Man United back four is going to be hard. It's going to be Valencia and Bailly. And then, I don't know, everyone's saying now Jones is going to start ahead of Lindelof. Lindelof's going to be kind of eased in. I think longer term, Lindelof is going to be the one to partner Bailly, but maybe not straight away. And then left back is tough as well. I mean, Blint, I'll be honest, I've not seen much of pre-season, but from what I've read, Blint hasn't been doing very well, and Darmian has. You're basically going for Bailly or Valencia or De Gea. To be absolutely, you don't want to start the season off with doubts. Play 4-4-2 and upgrade Chadley. Nah, don't think I want to play 4-4-2. There is a chance that Blin plays, but that's the thing. We're guessing or hoping. West Ham assets. They got. I know away games don't always matter, but they've got 3 away games to start. I just think they've got so many changes. I'm not sure about West Ham. I mean, Hernandez looks like he could be a good pick at 7. Same for Arnautovic. And you can make an argument, I suppose, to start one of them instead of William, but not for me. Yeah, I mean, with Matic, we kind of been assuming from the start that as soon as a defensive midfielder comes in, Pogba is then the one to get. It might not work out like that. I mean, Matic, apparently, he said he's not quite fit right now. Will he be fit enough for the start of the season? Hopefully, but we'll have to wait and see what Mourinho says. You've got to imagine Pogba's going to be pushed forward. Now, whether we play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, I don't think it quite matters. I think he's going to be up there anyway. I don't know. I've got Pogba in for a few reasons. 1, I'm biased. 2, I said it at the end of last season that I was going to get him. So when he got a reduced price, I almost thought I definitely had to have him. And 3, we've all been saying once the defensive midfielder comes in, it makes him a really good option. So with the fixtures, I'm happy to start with him. For 8 million, I think he could do well. You know, it's like I said at the start of the stream though, is Pogba and De Bruyne better than Eriksen and Salah? Probably not. In fact, is that even... It's 18.5. Okay, that's 0.5 more expensive. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep Pogba and just start with him. I mean, sometimes when you have a player in your head for so long and then you don't do it at the last minute, at that point you're much more annoyed if you get it wrong than if you stick with them when they do badly. So, I mean, I think I saw someone earlier say he got 8 goals and 13 assists in his best season for Juventus. I mean, that's an attacking return every other week. Can he do that again? I think he's good enough. Can he do that in Man United team? Not on the one based on last year. Can he do it this year? Maybe, but it's a risk for sure. Have I seen Mark's team? No. Willian is a bit of a risk because he's going to be a short-term pick. But there are over 7 million mids to swap him for. Then you're already planning a transfer in advance. But, as Matt says, we're probably going to wildcard early anyway. So, I'm probably going to take the risk. But I think there is Arnautovic, there's Zaha. If I stick with Fraser, there's Chadley. Save $1 million, spend it elsewhere. Maybe that's how I get Alonso in my team. I don't know. Yeah, I like Danilo at City for 5.5. Depends how long Mendy's out for, though. Stones, 5.5. Is that a good price? Fabregas is a bit like William for me, though. I don't think Fabregas is going to be in the team long term. Once Bakayoko's in, surely it's going to be him and Kante, and they're going to continue with the same formation as last year. I did read a post on Fantasy Football Scout that was saying the Conte actually quite often uses 2 strikers, and last season was actually a bit of an anomaly. And like, he does play 3 at the back, but he tends to play with 2 strikers, so the formation last year was to kind of fit Hazard in. Now, Hazard's not going anywhere, so he's got to fit him in again, so I don't think anything's going to change there, but we'll have to wait and see. Chelsea is showing interest in Drinkwater. For real? That sounds ridiculous. When's the next Scoutcast? I would assume it's probably next Tuesday, but I don't know if definite yet. Didn't Fraser get benched? Yeah, but Stanislas is out, so hopefully he'll play. Batshuayi could be an FPL star this year. I don't know. I think he starts and that's it. Mark said next Tuesday. Oh, there you go then. What Mark says goes. Am I all tempted to play 4 wingbacks? No, not really. Am I set on 3-4-3? Yes. Well, yeah, pretty much. The only reason that I'm not looking at 3-5-2 so much now is because the 5th option for forwards is worse than the... Sorry, the cheap option for forwards is worse than the cheap option for midfielders. So I can get Tom Carroll, 4.5 million. Sure, he's probably not going to do much, but he's probably going to do a lot more than the 4.5 million forwards. Yeah, if Gabbiadini was injured, it would be super easy to have Austin in. Like I said, a nailed Austin is almost as nailed in my team as Lukaku. I think going 5 or 4 at the back it's a little bit inflexible. I feel like you'd get 4 defenders, like wing-backs, but then there wouldn't really be anyone else you want to swap them for. So if they don't do very well, you kind of downgrade them straight away. And then you've got to put that money elsewhere. So Fraser's in because I had 2 West Brom players and I had to keep questioning why I had 2 West Brom players. Realistically, I don't go for Fraser. I'll probably go for Chadley, to be honest. De Gea is probably a problem. Crouch is 5 million though. How's it going, Jeff? Yeah, I quite like Zaha. 7 million, you know, obviously it's a bit more than last year, but he could be worth it. I mean, I like his opening fixture. It's always nice to have that player in right from the start. Why would Chelsea want to sign Danny Drinkwater? So weird. David De Gea is very non-me. I mean, let's have a play around right now. Sorry, 2 seconds. Okay, let me get my team here. Let's, for argument's sake, say I get rid of De Gea. I've really gone off West Brom defence. But what can I do with the money? That's the question. That's an extra 1 million straight away. If we make Austin J-Rod, let's have a look here. Then suddenly I've got space for 7 million. So then I could go someone like Zaha. Well, I still don't have Alonso. I don't know if I could fit Alonso in. When I keep... Then it's a case of Zaha and Bertrand, or Fraser and Alonso. So maybe I'll do something like that. I mean, that's a pretty balanced side, I'd say. But again, I could drop Zaha to Chadley, or a £6 million midfielder, and do Pogba to Salah. So there's a few different kind of ways I can go about it, to be honest. Look at that. Yeah, I am. Well, I'm not really avoiding Palace. Just who do you fit in? I don't think I want a Palace defender necessarily. Yeah, I do usually like the fixtures, you're right. I didn't even read what you were saying before I put Zaha in. I'm just kind of looking at the... There's a few players now in my team, I'd say. Kane, Lukaku. Probably De Bruyne. Although I just think is Salah, like, is he much better value than I can get Alonso in? I don't know. Tommins is an interesting one, right? In past seasons, I would always go for the 6 million midfielder that's really good in pre-season. But this year, I'm basically playing very boring. I'm playing sensible. I'm trying to get the players that are kind of... You know, they've already done it in the Premier League for the most part. I'd say most of those players in my team right now have. Obviously not every single one. Like J-Rod is a few years since. But most of them do the business. At least start in 11. Alonso might not even start. I don't know, it seems unlikely to me. Yeah, Coutinho, I think if I was going a 9 million Liverpool mid, I think I'd risk... It's not really a risk, but I think I'd go Salah. Ali at 9.5 million is really good. But do I want to play the coverage game and just get De Bruyne in at the start? Benteke, 8 million. This whole boring game is, you know, I don't know, I played fairly boring last year. And I got my best ever finish. Fairly boring. Not completely. I know, that's why I hate that I've said the word coverage. I've said it a few times now. If FPL Virgin's around, he's going to be on at me about that. I mean, I think Man City are going to score goals, so I'm going for the one that I think is the best value, essentially. Yes, Sané is cheaper, but I think De Bruyne is more likely to start the games. Now, there's always going to be, like... I mean, J-Rod isn't... well, maybe he is becoming 10 player, I don't know. I fancy starting with someone like Salah, and then having the rest as guarantees. Is sticking a 4 million defender on the bench to find 0.5 a risk, as you've lost a bench slot? I don't know if it's a risk. I mean, most of the time, you don't want to play your fifth defender, if you're having to play him early on, then you've either made the right balls up or you've got really unlucky. So it's not the worst idea, to be honest. Especially like Matthew says, if you're going to wildcard early. Let's see our subs. Gotta be on 1500 now. Oh, what the fuck? Did a bunch of you unsub? Well played, well played. Yeah, that's fair enough. You wanted Sané and Jesus to stick to it. I wanted Pogba. That's kind of why I got him in. Exactly, Phil. You can't have everyone. The amount of tweets I get saying, why haven't you got X player? And no one can ever tell me where I'm getting it. Like, fair enough. They weren't talking about De Bruyne. It was like, why have you got Pogba when you could have Salah or Mane? It's like, well, it's not as easy as that. It's 1 million, 1.5 million to find. Is this going to be the best FPL season yet? I think it could be a really good one, yeah. There's so many options. I think they've priced them so well. I thought last year was pretty good, but I'm probably a little bit biased because I did so well. We'll see. Sané rotation proof? No, I don't think he is. I do think rotation is probably blown a bit out of proportion at the start of the season, though. Am I planning on a game week 3 or 4 wildcard? I don't really have plans for it, but it always happens either game week 4 or 6. Any likely nailed on 4 million defenders? I don't think there are, to be honest. No Alonso. I know. What can I do? The problem with this team I've got on my screen right now, I think it's very close to Jonty's. How boring is that? Let me have a look at his team. I don't know, we have to find it now. But anyway, I think it's pretty close, especially with Zaha in there. See how far off I am. Yeah, exactly the same. In fact, no, I got Rodriguez instead of Austin. And then I got Bertrand instead of Stones. Other than that, it's exactly the same. Got to change that. I think Daniels and Ake are both going to start, right? So, there's not too much worries there. Alonso home versus Burnley as captain material. No chance. You got Lukaku there. Doesn't the Matic transfer mean that Pogba will play more offensively? That's what everyone's hope is, yeah. And I think people get a bit lost on Pogba because of the price tag. Like they can't differentiate between, you know, what a multi-million-pound company pays for a player, what he's capable of. I think there's a reason he was in the World 11 team for Juventus. In the World 11 when he was at Juventus. So I think he's got the potential to do well. But will he do it at Man United under Mourinho? I don't know. I'm just happy to take the risk. Would you ever go about Kane? We've already spoke about this. I'm not going to start the season without him, I don't think. If I do, I think I'll just regret it straight away. Last stream of the year. Oh, do you remember? Shows how tricky a question it was. Which players are must-haves? I said Alonso, Sané, Jesus, and King. Wow, how wrong was I? I mean, King, to be fair, if he wasn't position changed, people would be considering him, I think, at 7.5. Jesus, I think I was thinking that Aguero would be gone. Sané, fair enough. I'm just a bit worried about rotation now. And Alonso's so expensive. Did I say Alonso? Damn. It probably will be great. Would I consider Coutinho even with the Barca speculation? Yeah, possibly. I don't think he's going to go. There's an article here, The Guardian. Matic may be Manchester United's most important signing. Summer signing. I'm not that tempted by Chiquilito, to be honest. I just think 7 million is a bit higher than I'd probably want to pay for that slot. Eriksen or Ali. I must admit, I come around to Eriksen a bit more. More likely to be consistent, I'd say. You could probably keep him for longer, but they're both great picks. Best 4.5 million midfielder other than Carroll. Yeah, Chalobah. It's in the polls actually. There's polls in the top right if you want to vote. I think Carroll is the best one, to be honest. Thoughts on higher priced defenders versus midfielders? Yeah, I said this before. Like, if you're just comparing Alonso to Ramsey straight up, then yeah, probably Alonso outscores him most of the time, and over the course of the season, almost definitely. But then you have to, if it's Alonso and a 4.5 million mid, or Ramsey and a 4.5 million defender, then it starts to become a bit closer. The music's still on. Very quiet. Who do I want United to sign? Do we need any more signings? I think we're perfect. I mean, Perisic would probably be nice. He's more of an out-and-out winger, which we don't really have for Lukaku. There's talk of Aurier. I mean, that'd be an okay signing, but I think Valencia can do the job for the next season at least. I mean, if we're going to piss about with Shaw anymore and not be happy with Blin, then it'd be nice to sign a left-back. Who's available? I don't really know, to be honest. I'm quite happy with our team. Centre midfield is a bit of a... It's still a bit of a dodgy area. I mean, it looks like Fellaini's staying. He's a good squad player, but you don't really want him to play too many games. So in centre midfield, you've got Herrera, Pogba. I don't know. There's backups, but probably need another one. Ali's the second highest owned player. Wow. I actually see that big Ricey. I saw who was it? The Always Cheating podcast guys. They were saying maybe ownership should be hidden before the start of the season. I think I fully agree with that. I think it would make it much more interesting. Mourinho said Valencia was the best right back in the world last season. Well, I don't know if he was. He did have a very good season, but attacking wise, he's a bit of a nightmare sometimes. And what else was I going to say? He turns 32 in the next couple of days, so I mean, he's not going to be around forever. Alonso and Tadic, or Pogba and Bertrand? I'd go Pogba and Bertrand, I think. I don't like Tadic, so I'd rather have Redmond, I think. Is Mata going to get a look in this year? I don't think he's not going to be first choice. Yeah, I'm awful for pronunciation, I think, but the Arsenal guy, Kolasinac, I'm going to have to figure that out before I go on the Scoutcast, but he's probably the best 6 million out of those three linked. Company could be good. He's pretty good for a goal usually. I would avoid Bailly. I don't think he's good value. Begovic nailed. I assume he's the number one, but I don't know how much he's been playing. Oh yeah, can you imagine? No. Yeah, Herrera, Matic and Fellaini midfield. That's proper negative. Like play Pogba wide left or something. Howe said that number 1 was still up for grabs between him and Boric. It's going to be Begovic, surely. See, I'm still going between Pogba and Mkhitaryan. My only worry with Mkhitaryan is, I mean, like I said, I'm assuming the midfield is going to be Matic, Herrera, Pogba, and he got 2 wide players either side of Lukaku. Let's say we sign Perisic, which has gone very quiet, to be honest. Then you got Lingard can play there, Rashford can play there, Martial can play there, Mata can play there, Mkhitaryan can play there. That's a lot of players for a couple of spots. Now, some of them can fill in other positions, but I don't see much rotation for Matic, Pogba and Herrera. Like, they're going to be the core midfielders. Lukaku's going to be up front, so you've really only got 2 other spots in attack. So I'm a bit worried about Mkhitaryan's minutes, to be honest. Martial's looked pretty good in pre-season. I'm going to have to look up his name. You're going to make me say it that many times. I'm going to see how it's spelled anyway. Kolasniak? Oh my god, I don't know. The Arsenal dude. He should be nailed, right? Okay, interesting. He hasn't started training yet. Avoid for now. That's pretty good advice there. Yeah, Higazi at 4.5 is okay, but not if McCauley comes back in. Yeah, I really want Martial to start. I mean, I know it doesn't always look great, but he's probably got the most potential out of our kind of wide players right now. Is there a reason for Bertrand over Cedric? I just think he's more likely to get attacking returns. Stream title says De Bruyne in. What's the question mark for? It's basically because I didn't have him in the last stream, I don't think. So should I have him in? I've got him in now. Yeah, high ownership only before game week 1. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Mkhitaryan outscoring even with limited time. So I know people say that sometimes. Like, I don't mind having X even if he doesn't start because he'll come off the bench. But 2 things. I think 1, there's just no way someone who has less time over long term will outscore. I don't think Mkhitaryan will like a. I'm talking quite a few reduced minutes versus Pogba will outscore. And 2, it doesn't matter if they do. It's so annoying having a player that doesn't start. Every Saturday you just like you put off straight away. You're on a downer. You're looking at Triple United. Yeah, well, I had De Gea earlier. I would watch Lindelof though. I don't know if he's going to start. Herrera at 5.5. Nah, I'm not interested. He won't get forward enough. Milner or Alonso? Alonso, I think. I think he's worth the extra 0.5. Kolasinac. Okay, Kolasinac. I mean, I nailed Jesus last year. There's still people saying Jesus, but Kolasinac. Ah, fuck. Kolasinac. Okay. Let's just stop talking about him. Then I won't have to say his name. Oh yeah, which I have a question for you lot. Which 4.5 million defenders are you going for? I mean, I've got Sutner. I like the sound of him being potentially out of position. Simpson's just a placeholder, really. You think Cedric in for Daniels and your team could be golden? Same run of fixtures, agreed. Pellegrini's fullbacks accumulated a total of 9 assists last year. Nice. Yeah, I look at that. I mean, I like Daniels, but game week 3 and 4 put me off a bit. Austin for J-Rod, if he's guaranteed to start, yeah. Views on Daily Blind, he's too risky. I wouldn't start the season with Daily Blind unless Darmian gets injured, to be honest. Make sure to vote on the top right corner. Click the little eye. There's a few polls there. Have a quick vote now, and I'll go through the results in a sec. Yeah, that's the only worry about Cedric is whether he'll start. Why haven't I got any Liverpool players? Because Liverpool are rubbish. Nah, I'm joking. Because who do I replace? We've got no money in the bank, so really you're saying, why don't I have Coutinho, Coutinho, Salah or Mane in for De Bruyne? Are they better options for De Bruyne? Maybe. Thoughts regarding Jones? Yeah, it's too risky. I mean, Lindelof has to be the man eventually. Now you could get away with Jones for like 4 weeks and then wildcard, but as soon as he doesn't play, that's just such a transfer you don't want to be making that early in the season. I mean, yes, Man United defence is probably worth getting on, but I don't know if it's worth the risk, to be honest. I'm probably going to avoid, unless I decide to get De Gea, I'm probably going to avoid. Coutinho for Pogba, get $1 million from Zaha. So then you're looking at like Chadley and Coutinho versus Zaha and Pogba. I mean, is that as clear cut to go for the Coutinho option as you're making out? I don't know. It's very close. There's a lot of close calls to make. If Cedric gets time in both preseason matches, he'll probably be fine. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Swansea's fixtures aren't great. Even if Mr. Tammy is pretty cheap. Sané and Eriksen or Pogba and De Bruyne. Yeah, I know. When you put it like that, I feel like I should swap right now. I want Pogba though. I want it. Well, I'm gonna have to like, what's the word? I don't know. Convince you guys. You would have to say that Man United will get the most clean sheets this season. It's yeah, it's definitely potential. I think we had the, I don't know if we had the most, I don't know clean sheets wise last year, but letting in goals wise, we were like only behind Spurs, I think. I have mentioned for people to vote, yeah. In fact, I'm going to look through the votes now. While I'm doing that, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. It'd be very much appreciated. And also subscribe if you are new around here. Where are they? Cards. So best stream music. I know this is going to say Candyland, but let's see how big a win it gets. Ooh, not that bad. 67% say Candyland. 32% say Delicious. I think the gap will close as we play. In fact, while I'm reading these out, let's play a bit Delicious. Best Chelsea attacker for game week 1. So it's going to be Willian, I think. Fabregas second, and the other two far behind. Wow. Okay. So Willian is 68%. Fabregas is 11%. Batshuayi is 10%. And Morata is 9%. It's really not fancied. Best 4.5 million midfielders. 70% say Carroll. I agree with that, to be honest. 21% say Loftus-Cheek, 6% say Chalobah, and 1% says someone else. I think Loftus-Cheek and Chalobah are just asking for trouble. I don't know. They seem too good to be true. Are you considering a 5.5 million goalkeeper? So, yeah, I thought 64% say 4.5 million for life, 25% say yes, and 9% says Heaton is as far as I'll go. So I didn't actually check how many other goalkeepers are worth 5 million, so that's why I put Heaton there. There you go. Dawson for Daniels, 100% should be happening in your team. I don't know. I don't know about West Brom defence, to be honest. Why haven't you considered Jesus over De Bruyne? I have. Jesus is 0.5 million more, and I have to get rid of one of Kane or Lukaku. When do I see myself wildcarding? Probably around game week 4 to 6. I'll see what kind of shape my team's in. Foster and Elliott, yeah. If Elliott looks like he's going to be starting, which is looking pretty likely, that's probably who I'll go for. I need to double check the rotations though, because like, but I don't think Joe Hart's as bad as everyone makes out. So 4.5 million, I think that could be alright. Have I looked at a strong front three? I have, but I don't like it enough. Okay, who am I looking to for Game Week 2 captain? I think... Am I just going to captain Lukaku 2 weeks in a row? I think I'm captaining Lukaku again. I mean, obviously I could captain De Bruyne. Probably not going to captain Kane. Not going to have an Arsenal attacker. I mean, if I had a Liverpool attacker, that would solve that problem. I'm probably going to captain Lukaku again. Swansea away. Swansea can be a bit of a nightmare for United at times, but... Not going to have the perfect captain every week, I suppose. I think then I captain Kane. Give me 3. Yeah, against Burnley, 100%. So yeah, Lukaku, Kane. Yeah, exactly as Jason says. I think I would, unless he does really well in the first couple of games, I'll struggle to captain Bruyne, I think, with Lukaku and Kane in my team. Let me just triple check his fixtures here. Yeah, so I'm probably not captaining him anytime soon. Goal for who? Matic goal. I don't get what you're saying. I don't get what you're going on about. If you don't see De Bruyne as a captain, is he worth having? Yeah, I think so, because it's not like I don't have another option as captain. I mean, sure, if I had a Liverpool player, maybe I'd choose to captain them in Game Week 2, but I don't think that's an absolute must over the long term. I mean, Lukaku and Kane are kind of there to be captains, so... I don't know if... I mean, Begovic and Ake will probably help Bournemouth. I don't know if they'll suddenly be solid, though. I don't know if that's the game they play, really. You think Bournemouth will be overachievers this year? Top 8, wow. That'd be impressive. That's all different. Well, I'm starting to notice a template, but Johnny's team's looking very similar to the one that I've got on the screen. But that's what I think is great about this season is, like Jay Freud says, Coutinho and Salah double up. Is it worth it? Well, that doesn't sound crazy to me, and automatically that's 2 players I don't even have. I don't have Eriksen or Ali either. They could all punish me. So I think at least the start of the season is looking really, really interesting. Alright lads, any last minute questions before we call it time? We're going about an hour. I think pre-season one there's still so much up in the air. I'm going to maybe do these a bit shorter, like an hour-ish. Perhaps extend them when we get into the season. I mean next week, I don't know, I might do another stream. Oh yeah, I was going to do, I don't know if any of you follow me on Twitter, I was going to do a stream with my missus. She wants to pick a team and join my mates league this year. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if to come in and she hasn't looked at the game at all and I help her pick a team, or she picks one in advance and then I see it live on air and then try and amend it from there. I don't want to like choose it for her, but give her some tips maybe. WAG style. Chikorito, no, not for me. Not straight away. Pogba over Mane, a good move. Potentially not, but Mane's 1.5 million more. And I'd love Manny if he was a bit cheaper. Your reactions to it. To be fair, she's been doing some research. She was on what website did she use? All Things FPL. And she was telling me like you can't spend you should spend a certain amount on like your forwards, certain amount of your defenders. Make sure you have some big hitters for captains. So she's getting there. And she did say she wanted Eden Hazard because it sounds like Eddie Hazard. And I told her he was injured. Last minute thoughts on Ramsey. I like Ramsey. I do have a slot with Zaha on my team. I'm still thinking about Ramsey, especially if they're going to keep playing 3 at the back. I think he could be better than a lot of people think. Massive template forming in the FPL community on Twitter. Yep. Always happens though. Oh, Anish, you've only just seen I'm streaming. I'm actually in the process of wrapping up. 4-3-3, it could work. I don't like it though. I always prefer 3 at the back. Get your money up in attack, it's more interesting. And we're doing a draft league on the Scoutcast. I think a few of us would like to do it, but I'd say there probably won't be enough time to get everyone involved with that. I mean, I'm already thinking about the stuff I need to do next week with the amount of drafts I've got to fit in, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to do anything that's not fantasy football related. Trippier backup plan. There's loads of players 5.5. I could downgrade him to Cedric, something like that. Get 0.5 million elsewhere. I've honestly got no problem with Trippier in my team. They sign someone. It's not. Hopefully they sign him before the season starts, of course. But we'll see. Don't take a hunt. No, I'll tell her to take more hits. No worries, TFF. I'll catch you later on. Cheers for all the counter help. There's some good ideas. Captain choice for the first 3 game weeks: Lukaku, Kane. I don't know how much my team's been. No, my team probably has been. What's the word? Influenced. I quickly did the polls. Oh, I just did them actually. Never mind. Yeah, I'm going to call it there. As always, appreciate you all tuning in. Anyone that's new, hit the subscribe button, let you know when I'm next going live. I'll probably do the Mrs. stream on Wednesday, and then maybe just do a normal Let's Talk FPL on Friday, potentially. We'll see. I'll put it up on Twitter anyway. But yeah, other than that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It'd be really appreciated. See if we can get up to 100 likes for one of these. Haven't done that for a while. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'll be back soon. The Wednesday stream, if we do it, like I said, with the missus, it'll be a much more chilled one. I probably won't answer as many questions. We'll see. So yeah, only tune into that one if you're interested. Otherwise, you're probably waiting around for Friday for the next proper one. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you later. Thanks all, as always. I'll see you next time.